India is at a very, very transitional point, very critical junction.
Our guest today is Professor Sood, who is Principal Scientific Advisor to the Prime Minister. In today's world, it seems that science foundation is very, very core to any nation. How does Prime Minister look at technology?
Honorable Prime Minister is deeply committed to this, deeply. D capital. The road to Viksit Bharat goes through science and technology and innovation that we are in a decade.
The innovation, science and technology also have a huge strategic and geopolitical importance also, right? The way the world politics is shaping up.
So this technology sovereignty is absolutely essential for strategic autonomy. We have to do that carefully, and especially when we are growing up, we have to choose our partners carefully.
In this game, how do we play China? There is a sense of competition with China, there is a sense of threat also. The nuclear has to be a big part of the energy sovereignty for the country. It looks like on the cusp of a breakthrough.
I mean, there are already 2 startups which are talking of fusion. I mean, can you think of it 5 years back? I can't think.
We need to talk about AI. We are definitely not leading from the front. So how is this whole thing, perceived strategically?
I think our strength will lie actually in...
Hello, Professor Sood. Welcome to SparX.
Thank you.
Our guest today is Professor Sood, who is Principal Scientific Advisor to the Prime Minister, 4th person to hold this position after which was started with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Whenever Prime Minister needs to make a major scientific decision, he consults Professor Sood on the policy guidelines, what to regulate, what to fund, where are the opportunities, where should country pay attention to. Professor Sood has also made major contributions to science, including a Sood effect, which is a significant contribution. He is a Padmashri award winner. Sir, welcome to SparX.
Thank you.
And I want to start with, in today's world, it seems that science foundation is very, very core to any nation, especially the aspiration we have in the country. Any modern nation has to build on a very strong foundation of science.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on your podcast. It's a pleasure. And of course, you are a very iconic figure in the startup which has made big, so congratulations to that. So absolutely what you said, for Viksit Bharat 2047, the clarion call which our Honorable Prime Minister has given, the road to Viksit Bharat actually goes through technology, science and technology and innovation road. So it is very critical for us to see how we can leverage technology for upliftment of the society. Yeah. And that is why Prime Minister recently called that we are in a decade. I think last year he said that, and on every speech which he has given from the Red Fort, the technology forms a very integral part of his address. So that also tells that technology, science, innovation, they are really the pillars on which our developing Bharat will become a developed Bharat. Yeah. So that's absolutely right what you said.
This is excellent. Great to see Prime Minister leading it from the front. Yeah. In fact, sir, I want to share with you is I was one of the first investors in Skyroot. And recently when they successfully launched, Prime Minister was really leading it from the front line. He gave a lot of attention. He is really applauding the youngsters and encouraging them to take bold steps. So that's very, very...
It is so inspiring.
Right.
Absolutely.
I want to just maybe get your perspective on the senior most level of government, starting with at the Prime Minister level. Your office is Principal Scientific Advisor to Prime Minister. How does Prime Minister look at technology? You mentioned that every Red Fort speech has included something about technology. When you are in conversation with him, seeking his guidance, what is his take on deep tech in particular?
Actually, it is the topmost agenda as I can see for the government. And Honorable Prime Minister is deeply committed to this, deeply, D capital.
Yeah.
Because in all my conversations with him, one-on-one as well as in the group, it's very clear that there is a full recognition that science, technology and innovation will take us to Viksit Bharat. Yeah. There is no question. There is absolutely no question. And the enthusiasm is extremely high, and that's what makes us going. because whatever we have taken to him is true.
Right.
I mean that the what says the proof of the pudding is in eating.
Right.
So, all the missions which have been launched have a direct impact from him. So, I have no doubt that this support is critical to us and critical to the country, and this will even grow.
See, that's very encouraging to hear, sir. And I think even for our listeners, a lot of times we lament the fact, why we are so behind in science and technology, where are our Nobel Prize winners, and so on and on, where we rank, all of that. But this ecosystem needs to be built, and it needs to be prioritized at the highest level of government.
Yeah.
And there is enough evidence, as you're saying, proof in the pudding of all these missions, all the budget that have been allocated. And then if Prime Minister himself is taking it very, very seriously, it's a matter of time it start to show up in significant results.
Absolutely. When there couldn't have been a better time, let me say this.
Okay. Yeah.
Because our young people are very ambitious. And one example, as you rightly mentioned few minutes back, is the Skyroot, but there are many others. There is Agnikul, Dhruva, so many others which are very, very successful deep tech startups in space. 5 years back, we didn't have more than 10.
That's right.
Even less than 10, we could count on fingertips.
That's right.
Now we have more than 400 and more are growing. And look at that in space. The whole new department has been created. Not a department, the structure by Honorable Prime Minister. And in space is enabling this hand holding with the ISRO and startups. So, you can see that it's not only the words, it is also the action. And next one will be, you will watch in nuclear.
I was about to bring that up here, Shanti Bill.
Shanti Bill, actually it will enable our private sector to come in. And when you say private sector, innovations is not far behind. I mean, there are already 2 startups which are talking of fusion. I mean, can you think of it 5 years back? I can't think.
It was unthinkable, and in fact, I am planning to do a whole dedicated episode on just nuclear energy, because it's and it's connected to AI as well. I think nuclear has to be a big part of the energy sovereignty for the country.
Absolutely.
And fission, we have such a strong track record, and fusion is also, it looks like on the cusp of a breakthrough, and it's important that we have a lot of startups with government support chasing that.
I mean, that's what I said, that all this deep tech technologies which we thought are not amenable to private sector or the entrepreneurs, let's call it that way, they are now becoming accessible. And AI, of course, is very much there.
No, and I'm coming to AI. I just want to get one more strategic topic out of the way, which is the innovation, science and technologies also have a huge strategic and geopolitical importance also, right? The way the world politics is shaping up, and it is super critical for our independence, for security, and so it's no longer nice to have on one hand there's an economic argument, but also very strong geopolitical national security argument.
Absolutely. Actually, what you said is very critical for any country. India, of course, is no exception. So, this technology sovereignty, which is what you mentioned, is absolutely essential for strategic autonomy. Now, let us take a step back and ask, what does it mean? Because people have different views. So, my take is the following, that technology sovereignty is, as I view it, it's not that we do everything totally isolated from the world in a closed shell and all. I don't think so. But what we should do is, we should identify, and we have done it, what are the technologies in which there cannot be a compromise for sovereignty. In that sector, we should be having the freedom to choose our partners with our strength. So, what happens in technology sovereignty, when you choose the partners, each partner is critical for the other. So, it is like a interdependence in a very critical sense. So it's not like one is controlling the other and all. That will survive. So that can achieve also technology sovereignty, even though 100% you may not be the owner of this, because the supply chain can be an issue and many other things. We have to do that carefully, and especially when we are growing up, we have to choose our partners carefully. And that is what I call a game in this geopolitical scene.
But in this game, how do we play China? And the reason I bring them up, sir, is because they have made incredible progress also in last two decades by
Yeah.
leaps and bounds, and by many accounts starting to even leave America behind in many metrics. How do we look at that? There is a sense of competition with China, there is a sense of threat also, but there's a huge supply chain dependency on them as well.
Yeah, see, supply chain dependencies is not a secret.
Yeah.
It is there in many sectors, and they are weaponizing it.
Yeah.
Rare earth magnet is only one example, but there are many others which can be weaponized.
Right.
Now these days even neon gas can be weaponized when you talk of semiconductor industry.
Yeah.
So it's not something which is unknown. Now what we need to do is again, without getting paranoid about China, we need to keep on building our strength at pace.
Yeah.
That is the thing. And we need to make sure that we are not trampling on people's sovereignty and people's rights and so on, which is our strength actually as a democracy. And we are rule based society. I may not be able to say for everyone, but we are rule based society, and in that whenever you have rule based thing and democracy, you pay a price in terms of slowing down, which is not only true for India but any other country also. So but I would take the question of China, saying yes, they set the milestones in many times, and we have to find our own way to see what we want and not blindly follow.
And sir, for Indian deep tech entrepreneurs, how should they view China? Is it's okay to collaborate selectively?
Selectively, that's the right word.
Okay.
See, you have to make sure that your IP is well protected when you collaborate.
Yeah.
Question is, if you have that confidence, please go ahead. But if you are not, then don't do that. And also, every time the short term gains may not be an good thing.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when the cheap components are available.
Yeah.
You tend to do that. Happened in drone, happened in UAVs, in many other things. Question is, that can be very, very difficult position in the long run, because then you are sitting on a kill switch.
Yeah.
Anytime they can activate that. That is what we have to guard against, against the temptation to fall for it.
Yeah.
So that is a balance we need to see. Urgent thing, okay, but then make sure that you don't depend infinitely on that.
See, one of the critical enabler for in the deep tech, the product development cycle is very long.
Absolutely.
And so you are doing all this capital investment, and therefore that's where the tendency to take shortcuts may also come, because you want to maximize every last dollar. And then you need access to markets, which again sometimes can be weaponized or difficult to break into because they're large global players and so on. So that's where government procurement also becomes a huge thing.
I agree with you.
So as part of all these missions, etc., is that also being designed in a way where startups can count on at least first few years of orders, etc., coming from government?
No, I cannot agree more. See, in deep tech, there are various levels which we need to identify.
Yeah.
As you rightly said, we need patient and risk bearing capital. That is something most important, because the cycles are long.
Right.
It is not 2 years or 1 year, it could be 5, 10 years. So that is one thing where government instruments have come in terms of funds, deep tech funds of funds by DPIIT as well as RDI fund we mentioned. and there are other instruments which have happened in the past, but now it's happening and much more. So, risk bearing capital and patient capital is getting available to a good extent.
That's right.
Second one is the whether we have the regulation and the testing infrastructure. This is something very critical for deep tech, which is not happening enough. Do we have enough test beds for the deep tech startups?
Yeah.
This is what we have also recommended, that supposing you have some technology in drones, for example, where would you test it?
Right. Yeah.
So, do we have the right infrastructure, some airstrips, some other things, so that there is a regulatory sandbox?
Yeah.
And the third thing which you said is probably one of the most important is the procurement. So, this is what you will call, if I can say, commercialization valley of death.
Right.
So, lot of startups can fall into difficult times if there is not a very clear pathway for procurement.
Yeah.
What you are saying is right. It's not only procurement by government, it's also procurement by private sector.
Right.
And our mindset also has to change. So, there are few things happening. For example, there are certain clauses which have been brought in even in the defense procurement, and more should happen. So, it's not the, oh, it's first of its kind, so that is available, under that can we procure. So, I would not say that it's a solved problem, but there is a sensitivity on this, and strategic sectors are considering it very much, and other ministries I am sure would be looking at it. So, we have been flagging it.
Right.
So, we are saying procurement is a very important part in the deep tech area, because the other one public will take care.
That's right. Yeah.
But deep tech is usually government is a very big procurer.
Right.
So, what you are saying is a very important.
Right. And if I can just add to that, right, so if we, part of, I have immense interest in deep tech. I'm trying to study how things have evolved in other parts of the world. So, in US, this so-called military industrial complex have been, such a big source of, in some ways, innovation, global hegemony in this own way.
Yes.
But also they've been a huge funder of fundamental research. You have been from physics background, so a lot of physics of last half century was funded by whole military industrial complex. Right,
absolutely.
So I think this whole thing needs to work in tandem as one system.
I agree.
See, I've been, I talked to various deep tech startups, and I was talking to one company which is trying to make GPU chips. A very ambitious, very credible player. I think they will do something. But my biggest question to them is, your first chip is not likely to be world beater. It's not like people say, I will not drop NVIDIA and buy your chip. So someone needs to give you a large order for at least first few years. Otherwise, you will not float. So that's your commercialization valley of death, right?
Yeah.
So some of these can only happen.
I agree. I mean, I don't think there is another better way to put it. What you are saying, what startups have also to see, deep tech startups, if I may. I am not so knowledgeable. When they do this productization, they can also see whether a slightly lesser version can have public utilization. At least the revenues start flowing in, which feed into that.
Right.
So, I will call it spreading of your risks and not only depend only on one procurer. This is something I feel some people have done it, which I know few, but it has to somehow built in. See, government processes are, as you know, to take care of all misuse and all that. We have to take into account all those, but the fact that procurement has to be made easier is well taken.
See, on the, I think a lot of us seen, as you mentioned also, last 12 years, last 5 years, we have seen a lot of bold action, on the funds front, these missions, as well as policy front. Maybe procurement is one other pillar where we can see dramatic progress. Then I think all the building blocks
I
will be
agree.
in place. So
No,
at
I
least,
agree.
At least me as an outside government can demand, you have to figure out, navigate internal systems, but easy for me to at least say that this is, highlight.
No. I think what you are saying is not unreasonable. I will say there is a sensitivity on this,
Right.
and that is why changes are coming. If you look what happened 3 years back and what is happening today
Yeah.
in few areas, they are already taking into account. So it's not totally out of reach.
Okay, sir, we need to talk about AI, and AI is becoming increasingly harder to talk about because I don't know how closely you are monitoring the capability of these models.
Yeah.
Like recently, what happened with the Claude Mythos, for example. Just today, now Grok released 4.6, which is about 1/3 the price of the competitive models, and is demonstrating a benchmark same capability. And these are on the exponential curve. Even before coming to India's strategy, this has to be within the government circles. Is AI seen as this potentially a major threat, definitely it's a major opportunity also, and something India has a right now limited seat on the table. We are definitely not leading from the front. So how is this whole thing perceived strategically?
So let me say how it is perceived. So there is no question in the circles I deal with that AI is here to stay, and AI is a disruptive technology. No question about it. Question now is, what do we do to put ourselves on the table?
Yeah.
Now this has many layers. Now one is the development layer, other is the diffusion layer.
Yeah.
There are 2 layers, right?
That's right.
Now when you talk of development layer, which is what you mentioned few minutes back, Grok, ChatGPT, Anthropic, all that, they are actually on the development layer.
Right.
Whether it is 1.6 trillion model or whatever you call it, that actually is necessary. I am not even denying that. Whether we want to follow blindly that one, we need to see, but notwithstanding that decision, already in AI mission, a big funding is being given on developing 1 trillion parameter model.
Right.
May not be 1.8 but 1 trillion, which is actually a very good thing.
Yes.
Now it's not that it should not be done or it should be done, but it will happen. We have to make the compute resources available for that.
Yeah.
Because we don't have those compute resources of the order of like 1 lakh GPUs available to a developer 24/7.
Yeah.
So that's had to be made available. And in order to do that, you have to also make sure that we don't remain infinitely dependent on imported GPUs.
Yeah. Correct.
It cannot be the solution because they come at a very high cost.
That's right.
Question is, can we have AI infrastructure developed in India over a period of next 2 to 4 years? It will not happen tomorrow, but 2 to 4. And that is what we are discussing. How can we do that? So this will take, because you have to realize AI diffusion, if you look at the curves available in the literature, diffusion is much less slow than the than the development.
Yeah.
Development is happening almost every week.
That's right.
Diffusion is happening much slow. So India is heavily focused right now on the deployment, diffusion. And other one, we are not ignoring it, but like in AI mission, they have been funded. But whether we are close to Claude or this thing, that will take time. So my own sense is that if you want to see AI monetization, which is not what is being so much discussion, and can AI make a difference in lives of people? That is the ultimate bottom line. India is very serious in that, and we are having programs. Maybe it will show up in something. So it may not be that we are up on the model development, but on the diffusion we will be making a mark. So my feeling is this is a transition phase of AI. Whether the same curve will grow for longer time, I am not so sure.
Yeah.
Because look at the power consumption.
Yeah.
In this, when you talk of 1.7 trillion parameter model, the cost on energy resources and water is non-trivial.
Yeah.
Will this be the way for years to come? Don't you will you wonder?
No, there is a debate, right? So, and I do wonder, and I think there is a one scenario like the asymptote is reached earlier, and which is, in my opinion, also is probably good for the world because everyone will get enough reaction time to understand what is going on and so all that. But then there is the other, what if this plays out for next 5-7 years? Because see, it also has a huge economic upheaval potential. If you look at, India IT service industries, which has been a huge source of foreign direct income for us, is under severe threat. Today you can by spending $10 on Claude, you can produce a work worth of many weeks, which we used to export at $25 an hour.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit of that, it's a significant strategy important. If IT service revenues were to in some ways come under threat, again it will be a significant challenge for us.
I agree. I have a slightly different thinking.
Yeah.
Instead of blindly following what others are doing, I think our strength will lie actually in combining AI with quantum computing. I feel this combination, AI using quantum computers and quantum computers using AI, will be the synergy we should build on. Not only the classical GPU, TPU, CPU, NPU based quantum computer, classical computers, but make sure that quantum computers which are coming up, India is working quite a bit on that, and if the error connections come under control, which are happening, can we use the power of quantum computing, which is a huge parallelization for AI. So, if I want to see the future, I would think quantum computing coming in a big way in AI will be disruptive.
That's a very different thought process, and maybe let me double click on that. See, one is you have taken also a huge leap with this National Quantum Mission, which in some, I think many other missions were not surprised. That seems like a need of the hour. This one seems like a very proactive and with a lot of foresight, because quantum technologies are there today in a very limited manner, but the whole quantum computers are still, and at least the quantum supremacy milestone seems to be few years away. But you have taken a major leap with a 6,000 crore fund. So maybe walk us through your thought process of what convinced you that we should at this stage commit, because this can give us a time to in some ways not play the catch-up game and be ready when the quantum revolution starts.
So I am reminded of when did we start talking, right? I was just thinking, suddenly it comes to my mind. Actually in 2019, before COVID, COVID happened in 2020 March, right, if I am not wrong, when the whole world was closed. In 2019, I was a member of Prime Minister's Science Technology Innovation Advisory Council, and PSA was Dr. Vijay Raghavan. I was a member, and we made a presentation to Honorable Prime Minister. In 2019, I made the presentation on the need for quantum technologies in the country. Imagine, there was no hype, there was no fever. We made the thing and it was approved.
That's why I think your physics background must have helped immensely.
Yes, and it was approved. Of course, then the COVID happened and we were delayed by 2.5, 3 years. And as soon as we were able to do, we launched it. It is along with other ministries. MIT is involved, Defense, DRDO is involved, DA is involved, and so on. So what I think is, this is where our PM strike, which you mentioned, which comes under our office, has a very important role to play.
But what about actually building quantum computers? You think the work is being done in the country where?
Yes. Actually, right now, 7 qubits are working. working
indigenously developed.
indigenous, fully.
Yeah.
25 are being done. But a startup in Bangalore,
Yeah.
as you may be aware,
I'm aware. Yeah.
they got the chip made in Netherlands, but the remaining thing they have done here,
Yeah.
and that is working. They are going to 64 qubit. Under mission also,
Yeah.
we have funded projects for going up to 256 qubit already. But what is more important is which qubits you will build. So all this what I am talking are the superconducting qubits.
Yeah.
But there are parallel competitors.
Right.
Can we have photonic qubits? If we have photonic qubits, it will not need the ultra low temperature. It will have another architecture. Can we do that? So the 6-bit or 7-bit photonic or 4-bit, I am mixing it, has also been demonstrated in the country.
Yeah.
Photonic qubits,
Got it.
where the whole world is also catching up. Then we have the neutral atom,
Yeah.
quantum computing, and ions, trapped ions.
Yeah.
That is also being worked here. So in our approach in mission is to really see that we have the capability in 4-5 of these technologies, and whatever takes up future stage, we should not be left wanting.
Okay. And to your earlier point about looking at AI and quantum together, so is your vision that in some ways either we move training of large language models on quantum computers? Like what are kind of possibilities when we
So
try to
what
combine
can
this?
happen is in quantum, so what people are talking already, I am glad to see that this is not a just a hairy brain thing. People are talking of AI for quantum computers and quantum computers for AI, both.
Yeah.
When you talk of AI for quantum computers, the error mitigation is being talked about using taking the help of AI,
Right.
which will help.
Right.
In quantum computer for AI, it will be for, let's say, data for training,
Yeah.
because you can have huge parallelization. Can you use quantum computers for that?
Yeah.
So it's not obvious that it will be scaled up immediately, but people are already talking. Because if you see that even if you have 32-bit quantum computers,
Yeah.
it can take 2 raised to power 32
Yeah.
possibilities at the same time. So that is the hope. And as you know that in optimization problems, whether it is a traveling salesman problem or whether it is finding the pathway to photosynthesis and all that, question is quantum computers are being discussed.
Yeah.
My point is AI is also being used for drug discovery.
Yeah. Correct.
You know Google's AlphaFold, right?
AlphaFold, right. Yeah.
I mean earlier which used to take tens of years for crystal structure is you can do on this AlphaFold.
Yeah.
So now you see AI has come to a good level
Yeah.
of this drug discovery.
Yeah.
Quantum computers have the potential for the optimization problem.
Right.
Imagine these two things are combined,
Yeah.
optimization and the structure,
Right.
all this. So that's what I think. I mean,
Yeah. No, that's fascinating, and the possibilities are incredible.
that's the stargazing I can do, that will be the potential.
No, yeah.
That will also be the potential to make new material discovery.
Yeah.
Because materials is nation's life.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, if you look all the sovereignty we are talking, major problems are there, whether it is rare earth magnet, whether it is nickel alloys, whether it is high temperature alloys which go in the rocket head and all that. So it's all there. People are working on it.
Right.
Question is, can we use AI and quantum computers together to accelerate?
No, this is excellent. I think this will give also a lot of deep tech entrepreneurs something new to think about, because this is not something which is either crowded or someone is already way ahead in the race. The race is just getting started here.
Exactly.
And because of quantum mission, we also have the infrastructure. I think a lot of IITs are involved as center of excellence and so on. So
we have 53 institutions involved, 53 or 56, I've forgotten now. I mean more than 100 investigators.
Right.
So this is almost, and we have a number of startups funded
Right.
by AI mission, sorry, by quantum mission.
Right.
This never happened before.
Right.
So this is where I call taking everyone along, and as you know, it must be in the newspaper. We have already demonstrated 2000 kilometer of QKD
Yes, I saw that.
transmission
That's right.
by a private company.
QNEO, yeah.
QNU.
You're right. That's right.
I mean, this is so inspiring actually to
Yeah.
me.
In some ways, like how China took a leapfrog in electric vehicles, perhaps quantum technology is something we can take a leapfrog, because in the AI GPU race, I think we have to play catch up. But here, there's really no one ahead. It's just a matter of.
Exactly. That's what I said. That quantum is one thing where we have a huge potential, and we are working well on this.
And switching gear, I want to also talk a bit about Semiconductor Mission. And you mentioned earlier that Semicon 1 has made significant progress. Semicon 2 is now 1,25,000 crores. And again, semiconductor.
So 1,25,000 lakh crores.
1.25 lakh crores.
Like
correct. Yeah. 1,25,000. Correct. Right. So that's a humongous amount of capital. What is our ambition here? You just brought in broad brush strokes. If Semicon 2 is successful, what is the outcome we should see?
See, in Semicon 1, ISM 1, sorry, ISM 1.0, we laid the framework and confidence building measure that India can be a hub for fabs and all this packaging OSTA. We had demonstrated that, and it's happening. Already Micron is coming on board in terms of production and so on, Tata fab and so on. So that was ISM 1.0, where we funded, I think, about 12 projects, if I am not wrong, 12 to 14, with significant investment, and it brought in that, because it's not just fab. The entire supply chain has to be built. Ultra high purity gases, materials, it's not one thing. All that will be now built here. ISM 2.0 will enable that also. So 2.0 will enable the full ecosystem and a possibility to leapfrog into next generation one. So if you ask me, will it do 5 nanometer technology? I will say no, it's not that goal. But it will go towards that, and there could be new technologies like the compound semiconductor fabs, where there is a huge possibility to take lead. That is another thing. So ISM 2.0 will see us as a full-fledged established player, taking innovative things even head on.
And is the goal for ISM is that everything all the way to fab should be manufactured in India? What about example, like for example, a startup that I know personally, who are actually, their ambition is 5 nanometer, even less. All the design, everything will be in India, and the production will be TSMC potentially. So those kind of projects will be supported through.
100%. Actually, there is a huge component on DLI, design linked incentive. Part of this actually. So DLI was also there in the earlier one, where even the tools were provided to the players, but this will be even more.
As you very well know, I think it's said that nearly 25% of all the chip designers of the world are in India, and a lot of them in Bangalore. So I think we have the the intellectual know-how to do these things.
That's why I call AI infrastructure. How do we completely have sovereignty in India? That's what is possible.
Sir, you think in science and technology, where are we situated today? You think we are in some ways playing catch up, given where are in our journey as a country, 75 years since independence? You feel satisfied that we are where we should have been at this stage, or we are playing some catch up?
So let's look at the data, because colloquially we may say many things, but that's not very satisfactory when we talk. So right now, if you look at where we stand, India is third right now in the publications in the world, and in patents India is fifth. in filing the patents. Now, if you look at that, our innovation in the global innovation index in 2014, we were at around not very high. Now we are 38 in 2025. It was I think 80 to begin with, and now we have come to 38. That itself tells us how we are progressing, but we need to go further. So, we need to make sure that India is in the first at least 5 to 10 innovation index. Let us keep it 10, and we should see if we can come to 5, and that is a very achievable goal, because all the instruments which have been provided to our ecosystem in the last 12 years is making a difference. So, see what you need actually, you think about the following: India is at a very transitional point, very critical junction. It has talent, it has ambition, and it has the government support or the policy support, all three. So, the hunger of young people for innovation is being helped by all the ecosystem. So, that is what is making the difference. So, this is what I see, that our number of patents which are being filed from India, as I said, has increased, and we are 5th. But what we need to see are the more deep tech patents, and that is what will also feed to deep tech startups.
And so you feel satisfied with the what there is, always in these things there is a quantity argument and there is a quality argument.
Right.
How do you think about quality?
No, absolutely. Quality is, we are we are working on it. Good news is that if you look at 2025 Nature report which came out a few months back, there in the top 10% of the publication, India is doing reasonably well. I do not remember right now this thing, but it has improved. So, that is a measure of the quality. But if you ask me, are we satisfied? I will say we need to make sure that we are in the top 3.
And so science and innovation is something which is in some ways very slow enterprise. You sow the seeds, lay the foundation, go through PhD process and so on. So, you sow the seeds now, you reap the rewards much later. For example, IITs which was started in 50s and 60s, and the country is still reaping reward from that 70, 80 years down the line. So, in government, how do you think about that? Because somewhere you obviously want to show a lot of progress this year, next year, year after, but some of the things you have to do now which will pay dividends in maybe 10, 20 years down the line.
Yeah, so the approach is mixed. So, it is not like you only do the short term, you are absolutely right. If you look at national education policy which came in 2020, it is called NEP 2020, but got implemented 2-3 years down the line. NEP is really looking at the future. It is not immediate, it is not only 1 or 2 years. The new way of looking at education, the holistic way, all that which is embedded in NEP, where innovation also forms a part, and how do you bring young people in its fold, all that is in NEP. So, that tells that we are also looking at little far off. Another thing more recently with which you are very familiar is the RDI fund. So, this RDI fund, for those who may not know it, just 10 seconds of introduction. So, this is 1 lakh crore rupees public money put by government for encouraging R&D in the private sector. So, we are doing the risk management when private sector feels they do not want to invest in deep tech R&D, government is coming forward. Now, these fruits will not be seen in 2-3 years, they will be seen at least 5 years down the line. So, that is a huge initiative. I am not aware of any other country where the public money has been put for private sector R&D. I am not aware.
No, this is I think a phenomenal initiative by the government. I have also watched the progress and growth of RDI from the sidelines, and you are absolutely right. There is really nothing comparable that comes to mind. Maybe, and I think as I was preparing for this episode, I also learned that you were quite instrumental in shaping the policy for RDI fund and including making the initial proposal. Can you just walk us through the genesis of that, because this is a very large deal for a country in our current developmental stage to set aside 1 lakh crore for the really deep supporting the private R&D. What was the, how did the idea germinate? How did it get support with the government?
So I will not take full credit for it. There are others who have also played very critical role, including PMO, including maybe other ministries. But it was, so what we were having a discussion in earlier times, that how do we encourage private sector R&D in our country. Unlike other countries, we are our major funding came from government. When it was 0.7% GERD, our private funding was about 34%.
Right.
At that
of
time.
that of 0.7%.
Of 0.65%. Now the new statistics is much better, as you know. That last week what DST released, 2023 to 2024 year, we have reached to 0.84% of the GERD is 0.84%, and out of which the private sector is close to 50 now. So that's encouraging. So when this discussion was on, Honorable Prime Minister decided that government should come forward and incentivize it. So we want to incentivize deep tech R&D. I want to make it very clear. This is not for conventional day-to-day problem solving and so on. Something where we can take leapfrog and get a global stage. We would like to see India in the global 5 in few areas. Can we be? Can we be global 5 in quantum? Can we be global 5 in let us say AI diffusion? Can we be global 5 in digital infrastructure? So our DPI is already making an impact, as you know. But question is, can we really be in the global 5? And that I feel is this RDI fund can enable, because government involvement is full. Our academic institutes, national labs, all are into this. Private sector is what is getting incentivized, and good news is that they are showing a huge interest in this.
So this stats you quoted is obviously very encouraging, to go from 0.65 to 0.85 and from 34% to 50% contribution from private R&D. And once the RDI fund is in full swing, hopefully it will catalyze the private R&D even more. How do you also think about the overall percentage? Do you feel this number, because the global benchmarks are in the 2.53% range, do you think India needs to have a different path where we don't really need to get to 3%, or it's a matter of time? Once we are 5 trillion economy, 10 trillion economy, the numbers will also catch up?
No, I think it's a good question. Actually, I will just step back for a second. The percentage actually hide lot of things. What one has to see in 2019-20, when it was 0.66%, our actual expenditure on R&D was 1.3 lakh crore rupees in actual terms. Now it has become 0.84. So you will say, oh, it's only 15% increase. But in actual number, because our GDP has increased, now it is 0.245 lakh crore. So it is actually more than it's double. That is what I call the figure to look at, because also when if you look PPP, this thing, so it is something which I mean India has a way of doing things in its own way. Our Mangalyaan mission and Gaganyaan reflect that. So we should aim for higher GERD. I am not saying we shouldn't aim, But my feeling is it will happen as we move along. It cannot be artificial. We need to have absorption capacity.
Right.
It can't be just funds alone. It will come, and government, I mean, with all the missions which have been launched, as you know,
Yeah.
we have National Quantum Mission, National AI Mission, Semiconductor Mission.
Yeah.
And that investment is last time was 75,000 crore.
Yeah.
Now it is 1.25 lakh crore, the new one, ISM 2.0. That will also get into GERD, which is not got into
Yeah.
in this statistics. So my sense is that with all this approach and ANRF coming in the picture, it will go up. And we should not be overtly hypersensitive to a scalar number.
Drawing too many parallels with China, but last 10-15 years they have really accelerated,
Yes.
reverse brain drain and laying out the red carpet, and lot of world class scientists of
I
all
agree.
kinds going back to China. So
Yeah.
I think, and we have our diaspora has huge
So
strength
that
for us.
so we hope, not we hope, we are very confident that this Prime Minister Research Chair, which is being run by Ministry of Education,
Yeah.
our office has some role to play in formulating it, and I'm chairing that Apex committee.
Yeah.
So that will play a role.
See, speaking of talent, do you think there are also some more policy improvements are required, say, for professors to be able to start companies along with their students, take a 3-year, 5-year sabbatical, go back, while have the somewhat safety of being able to come back to your.
It's happening.
Yeah.
In few institutes it's happening. Actually in IISc it happened long back,
Okay.
when this Simputer was launched and so on.
Yeah.
But it's happening even now more. IITs are good examples where a lot of startups have come up based on the technology developed in the lab.
Right.
My feeling is it has to happen at scale.
Yeah, that's right.
It's happening in few institutions.
But is it culturally that's not happening, or there are policy roadblocks?
There is no policy roadblock.
Okay.
I think policy roadblock can be taken care of, because let me call it, there is a positivity to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Mindset is there.
Right.
So if there are any hurdles, they can be addressed.
Yeah.
That's my sense in the present environment. Question is, are there enough places where this can happen?
Yeah.
My answer is yes.
Right.
It should happen, especially going beyond IITs and IISc.
Yeah.
That's what we need to bring in.
Absolutely. And part of it maybe this is also relevant, and you've been involved in, I think, initiating this as well, the National Deep Tech Startup Policy.
Yes.
So can you just maybe give some color on that? It's, if let's say I'm thinking of starting a deep tech startup, how can I participate in this program? What support benefit can I get?
So what we did was we just identified what could be the bottlenecks,
Yeah.
and we consulted a lot of people and so on. So the idea is, of course, the patient capital,
Yeah.
which we talked few minutes back. Now here my suggestion is that since there are these RDI fund available and deep tech funds by DPIIT available, please see the second level fund managers will be disbursing that.
Right.
TDB is one of the second level fund manager, but there will be many focused research organizations like the IIT's incubation parks, ISC Art Park and so on, who will be encouraging the startups,
Yeah.
deep tech startups. So that patient capital up to some extent will come through that. That is one thing. Second thing is whether our IP filing and all can be made easier.
Yeah.
Some efforts have been done which have made the IP filing much better in the last 2 years because of the intervention of the government. That has happened. Third thing will be that is there a ecosystem where they can interact with each other. Earlier they were working in isolation.
Yeah.
Now I am saying there are many platforms like Bharat Innovate,
Right.
where we took a limited number of 120 startups to France,
Right.
Nice, and then we have other interaction platform. in all the events, the startups are some part of it. So my feeling is that platform is the hand holding or the mentorship, let's call it that way, is also happening now. And there are now structures which want to promote it. Some of them are philanthropic actually. They do that all this hand holding without seeking the returns. For example, yourself, you also hand hold and make it possible. That's what country needs.
Right, absolutely. There is this program also. This is very interesting. As I was just looking at some of the work you've been involved in. This One Nation One subscription thing to boost. That
this is very favorite. I feel very happy that it got happened. This was again asked by PMO to us to launch it. So what we have done under that, so earlier what was the system? There will be many consortia, IIT consortia, DST consortium, all that. They were negotiating with the publishers, limited publishers in their area, and they were getting the funding. This is the thing where you have to pay to buy the journal.
This is for journal subscriptions.
Journals, right. Because there are two models of publication. I'll come back to it later. What ONOS has done, we have brought all of them into our fold. With the result, we have 32 publishers, top publishers.
All science, nature,
everything, even humanities, everything. 32 publisher with about 6,500 publications. And now all government labs, all government colleges, all government universities have free access, free.
Incredible.
In all subjects. Earlier physics guys were only having physics journals. That has been democratized. So right now, as of last count, we had around 1.8 crore users.
Wow.
On this ONOS.
No, that's phenomenal. This is one of the things which may not look very glamorous, but it is very fundamental to a research student to have access to world's top journals and like this.
Anyone in the remotest state university.
This is excellent. I think this is.
Do that. So that is what I feel very happy that it was done. Again, whole of government. Because we involved all national labs, government state universities, central universities, everyone. And this is this is steered by Ministry of Education. You have to remember that all these programs are rolled out by respective ministries. We provide the catalyst, intent, support, push, all the things. But it is always run by a ministry.
See, I have one suggestion, and maybe you might have thought about this already. See, in the deep tech, this so-called moonshot type of competition also drive a lot of progress. X Prize is a very successful example, which led to first private space flight, I think about 20 years ago, or even there used to be autonomous driving competition in US. Can we have our own version in India, which is like very prestigious, publicly visible? Student professor teams compete for hard challenges on quantum plus AI or drones and so on. And
excellent idea. Actually, I don't think it there is any iota of a doubt. Quantum, we are thinking of a quantum hackathon. In the quantum mission, we talked about it. But quantum plus AI is my favorite. Which I have been saying, and we should do it. I think it's a good suggestion. We should do on another one, which I think will happen in future, AI plus quantum plus biotechnology. Problem focused on system biology. Can we happen that? Brain research. We have now tons of data which is coming out on brain this thing. Can we use the power of AI and quantum? And when we talk of this artificial cells, I mean, where do we take it? So this synergy or convergence, whatever you call it, AI, quantum and bio.
Right.
So there maybe we should do hackathon.
Right. Yeah, this is something, sir, your office can take the lead.
Yeah.
And see, part of this competition, brings a lot of attention. And see, in the
I
college
agree.
also, they used to have all this robotics competition, which has,
Yeah.
moved the field of robotics
No,
quite far.
I think it's an excellent idea.
On the closing note, my last question: how do we also create a culture of celebrating science and encouraging kids to science? Say, we don't have popular science books that we grew up reading. It's a science world is a little disconnected from the
Yeah,
mainstream.
I agree with you.
If there's a big milestone, maybe we have, like for example, and I'm sure you know this person very well, Professor Deepak Dhar. He just got a Dirac medal. Now, hardly anybody will hear about it. It's like next to Nobel Prize. It's such a big
Yeah,
deal. But we
yeah.
somehow, it's not in the
I
public
agree
perception.
with you. This is not done at the level when we celebrate cricket or
right.
our Bollywood.
Yeah, Olympic bronze will, all of us will be up in arms, and but Deepak Dhar, hardly anybody will hear.
Yeah, so you are right. I very much on the same page as you. It should be done. So I had coined a phrase which I gave in one convocation. S life. S for science.
Yeah.
And life I had various things.
Yeah.
L was for laboratory revitalization. I for innovation, and F was festivity.
Right. That's
So I said make science
Yeah.
as a festivity
right.
and do various things,
Yeah.
cultural.
Right.
So bring art and science
Yeah.
together.
That's right.
So that's what I called F for festival.
Right.
And I think it's important.
Absolutely.
The reason I am saying is the public has to be engaged.
Yeah.
Public cannot be just isolated. Oh, science is
Yeah.
separate than other things.
That's
no.
right.
So what you said is absolutely essential, and we have to celebrate science.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Right.
And I hope the podcasts like this
Yeah.
and various,
This
because
is-
there are very few podcasts on science, by the way.
Right. That's right. So I think I'm very committed. Like now in the SparX, we only discuss science and deep tech stuff. Are you hopeful that we are entering into, hopefully we'll see the golden age of Indian science in the coming decades?
I think so. I feel, as I said in the beginning of this podcast, we have young people.
Yeah.
We have talent, which was untapped. Now it is coming out. We have ambition.
Yeah.
That one is very unique to India,
Right.
because our country has these young people and they have ambition.
Yeah.
And if you think about it on a different note, science or education in general has brought out of poverty.
Yeah.
What was lower middle class or lower middle class has come up to middle class
Yeah.
only because of technology. Good part due to a digital revolution.
Right.
So it has made a real life difference
Yeah.
in people's one generation,
Right.
even forget
That's
3
right.
generations.
Yeah.
I mean, so that I see is the vehicle for our societal upliftment also.
Right.
So we have the talent, we have the ambition.
Yeah.
And the third one is we have the ecosystem now.
Yeah.
Make sure that we take advantage of it. And that is my hope.
No, that's something to really look forward to. I want to thank you, sir, for taking
Thank
the
you.
time. I think there is so much has happened on the science and technology front
Thank you.
during your tenure and with this government. I think there's so many programs, and this really a very hopeful and optimistic atmosphere for
Yeah.
deep tech startups.
Yes.
So I think
you.
hopefully
Thank you.
we'll many more
No,
things
it's,
to come.
I'm glad to have chat with you because you have done so much for the country.
Thank you,
Very
sir.
nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.